Hello, friends, and welcome to another exciting episode of Snap Judgments. I am not Roy. I am not Ika. I am not Heart of the Cards. I am not Nick the Greek Geek. I am also not Gunny T. I am none of those people. I am the person whose voice you usually hear first on this channel. It is Glazer of Snap Judgments, and I am just me. But I am not just me. I am just me with two of those people who I mentioned, the two best of them, dare I say, because they're not the ones who ditched me tonight. It is HOTC, Heart of the Cards. What's up, Heart?
Not much, not much. I'm Heart of the Cards. Very generally, I make educational content on YouTube, and once every fortnight or once every blue moon, I hop on stream. Probably when Maverick comes out.
Yet he still streams more than our great friend Nick the Greek Geek. We are also joined by someone who actually streams almost every day. Almost every day. Although the hats have gone. I noticed the longer he has streamed, the fewer hats. It is Ika MTS who's going to rebut my hatless claim.
I was actually going to rebut the first claim, which is that I stream almost every day. I do not stream almost every day. If I can get 2 days out of the week, I'm very happy. But I'm trying my best, okay? Hello, it's good to be here again.
So, where the hats?
No, hats are still there. You just, people, if you join my streams, which is Ika_MTS, you can pay the points to get me to wear whatever hat you want within whatever I have. Of course, I can't make up hats, but yeah, do that.
Follow Ika for capitalism and a lack of imagination. Can't make up hats. However, if you want to learn all about those two things and so much more, where can we find Heart again?
Heart OTC on Twitch and Heart OTC on YouTube.
Sweet. And you can find me at Snap Judgments Pod on YouTube, which is mathematically likely to be where you're watching this because sometimes Riverside eats the episode and we don't actually get it on the podcast feeds lately. Thank you, Riverside FM. Remember, if you live anywhere but North America, it is real shady to get things to actually work. However, yeah, I don't care about plugging anything else. Riverside FM is a pain in my ass, and Snap Judgments Pod on YouTube. Let's talk about Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir is a 4/6, not a 4/4. They updated him, thank God. If he was a 4/4, he'd be the worst card in Marvel Snap, period, bar none. On reveal, if your other cards in play cost exactly 8 total, add the top card of your deck here, set its power to 8. Everyone hates this card, but the only home it's found at all is Surfer, and Heart is the Surfer guy. Heart, tell me about this card.
I also hate this guy.
Oh, okay.
I think I view him like a Wiccan, but like if Wiccan didn't have like Quicksilver Domino, where he has like this insanely restrictive deck building cost, and like you have to pay to use him, and then like you get the reward, and I'm one of the Wiccan haters. Like I get the reward of Wiccan, I'm like it's all right. I don't know if I had to pay like my entire deck building cost for this, and then Noir is like to that degree, but there's no easy solution like Wiccan has an easy solution, which really becomes a problem because if there was an easy solution, at least I could like go there and then build the rest of my deck. But now it's like I'm paying the full cost.
That's 100% true. I agree with that. I'm a little more positive on the card than I think the general audience is. I'm not saying this is a good card. It's not at all. What I am positive on is that you can use this card as like an emergency lever on a deck. If your combo isn't going the way you think it's going, where you want it to go, where you're like curving exactly to the pieces that you want ideally, this can sometimes be like, all right, I didn't draw my stuff, play this down on 5 or something, and hopefully I draw a card out from my deck that I need for my combo. Now, can you afford to have a card like that in your deck in this meta? Absolutely not. So then that's why it's bad. But I could see a world where you play this in a deck.
If ever a card wanted to be a 4/8 or 4/9, we're looking at it, right? Like 4/6 just isn't enough. I need this to do nothing and me to be like, at least I got some good stats in the lane. A 4/6 just is not it. Also, it feels like every location in the game makes this not work. Like every location. Wiccan has like one location, maybe two, that are really bad for him. Like I got I had the perfect curve for this. I played like 8 or 9 games with this. I didn't play a million. Excuse me. And I finally get the perfect curve. I get the location that pulls a card from my hand at 0 cost. I'm like, well, there goes that pulled a 3 drop, and now I have 9 power. And it's just like, oh, there's a monster metropolis. Never mind. Oh, there's some squirrels. I guess we're not doing that this game. Like every location in the game breaks this. This is completely stupid. I don't understand what we're going for. It's so I'm winning a lot with Spider-Man Noir decks. I'm gonna put that out there. However, I've yet to get Spider-Man Noir to go off in a game. So it's been in my hand a lot. Once it was pulled by a location, Sakar, where it didn't do anything but 6 stats for free were nice. And I, I want this to be good. Spider-Man Noir is a really cool character. But this is the poopies of the poopies, I think. I really, really, really want this to be good. And I at least want it to be fun. So like maybe don't count created cards or something, right? Like it's gotta have something, it's gotta like have better stats and not count created cards or something. If it
What
didn't
I
count
think it really needs
yeah.
is like a Sam Wilson, but like make Sam Shield exactly 2 cost, and that'd be perfect for this card. Because then it's just a regular curve.
Yeah, that'd be fair. So yeah, I don't know, man. Something decent. Like Makari more or less works, right? Like you run a couple 2 drops Makari and then a 3 in this and you're there. Makari has been my favorite thing to do with this. Everything else has felt like I don't want to say terrible, but like terrible. But I don't know. Like the
I,
sinister stuff felt bad. I saw a lot of people doing Thanos stuff with it, and I saw a few people doing the Gore Iron Man thing, and I'm like, well, I don't want to do that in those decks. Like it's not worth like going 2-3-2 or 2-3 this 2-3 sorry 2 this in those decks. Like it's just that's a bad play. Like there's things I could do instead of that. I'd rather freaking play Esme. It's just the poopy.
I think a second Makari would kind of probably make this card a lot better. Because right
Hmm.
now, like your second Makari is like Shanna, but like Shanna's not the greatest card to just slot into decks.
Hmm.
So if there was like a second card that could fill that exact same curve restriction, you could at least like reliably like if the locations aren't screwing you over, you could reliably have Noir on 4 if you have them.
Yeah. The upside of running the Domino thing is Domino's pretty good with Viv Vision. Like Domino plus Viv is reasonably likely to get me 1 buff. And that's nice. I don't know if it's worth doing that for Viv though, is the problem. Uh Merit Merit Snaps, often a top 10 player, is saying this is the prodigy of the season.
Uh,
Prodigy
hot
was
take.
Prodigy was good on release. I love that guy since he came out, so
Yeah,
I don't love this guy since he came out.
yeah.
This card needs a lot more help, and not just on its own stats, just like in general in the game. There needs to be like 5 cards released that you could see fitting in with that type of deck that this wants to be in that we do not have yet. We just don't.
Um yeah. I mean it's possible that they're just releasing a bunch of stuff that's good with this. We just don't know what it is. And
Yeah.
also skills
Maybe
don't
like
work with this.
maybe like a Scarlet Spider at like 3 cost. That would just be another way to get 2-3 costs out at the same time. Like I could see that and Macquarie being like viable, but
I mean,
it's
sure,
missing
but
at least 1 card in my opinion.
like if Scarlet Spider costs 3, I don't know if I'm running this. I'm playing Surfer still, but I might just like play Surfer and not bother with this, right? Like, oh man, that seems like really good stats for Surfer. Great, let's play it.
I mean, it's probably not that bad also for like in Surf. It's like, oh, I'm pulling my spider, not my
Yeah,
my
yeah,
Scarlet Spider 8 power. It's like
yeah.
there's a
That'd be
bunch of duplicators in there. I could see it working if hypothetically like that happened.
I do like that the one another positive thing. I do like this type of text.
hmm
They haven't explored this kind of thing yet. There's a lot of room to keep exploring, like counting the cost that's on the board. We don't really have anything like that. I mean, we have things that say like, oh, you need to have a curve or you need to use up your energy, but nothing that says like, oh, look at your cards, how much energy is on the board, and then according to that you get some sort of effect. And as a first shot at it, like sure, they maybe want to undershoot it just because they don't know, they don't have any sort of a comparison in this
Ooh,
kind of style of card. So maybe they try to undershoot it first to see if this type of effect is easy to achieve for general, players.
I figured out how to make it good. One shot,
Hmm.
at least 8 total. I think we're there. If it's at least 8 total, we're good. Because then every
I think I
location
think
At
that's
doesn't
least
break
then
it.
you
Things
always just play
benefit.
it on 6,
yeah, I
no?
think that's too
Oh,
linear. Like
yeah.
not too linear. It's too like easy to get. Maybe like put a
Yeah.
range like 8 to like I don't know like 8 to 9, just feel like an awkward range. But
Or
at least you're not
give
getting
the
shoot over by
power.
instantly.
Sorry to like jump in, but like, or give power as well, depending on how much cost is on the board.
Well, yeah, maybe it just pulls a card if it's 8 plus, but it has to be exactly 8 to set it to 8, so you still get like an
Sure.
effect.
Sure. Sure. I can see that. Yeah, let's do something. Like, it needs something. It's too often a dead card. All right. We've
Yeah.
spent longer on Spider-Man Noir than anyone
Yeah.
should. So let's talk about a card that we're probably going to also spend a long time. Actually, maybe we're not going to, because the fuck is there to say? Apparently not a limited tide mode, even though they said it was going to be at first, or it was data mode. Hey, Gregor raid. Hey, Gregor, thank you for the raid. Deafening Chord is a 1-cost skill. On reveal, afflict enemy characters here that cost 3 or less with -1 power and remove its text. Heart?
There's two sides to me. I like playing V-hand, really good in V-hand. It's like a really good card. It doesn't cost board space and all that. I really enjoy like having an option V-hand to kind of like it's like an agony. You any deck that's struggling with board space, you just throw it in. It doesn't take a board space. It moves the werewolf. I think it's a pretty strong effect as well. Then there's the other side of me, and like I'm going to be playing Surfer at some point, and then I'm going to be really depressed when this is either hitting my Maverick or my Carter in a lane because both of them are in the same lane. So those are the two sides to me right now.
Yeah, it's how do I say this? This card's really good,
Hmm.
but I don't think it's as good as people are saying it is. Some people have this sort of idea that like, oh my god, this is the best tech card in the game. It's really, it's kind of more specific than people think. Like, this is not a card you put in a deck that you want to curve out ones or even twos, because sometimes you want to play this on two, and playing only one cost on two is kind of bad sometimes. This is a very specific tech card for a very specific types of decks. Obviously, like werewolves and your horde decks and Anila stuff loves this. Anytime you want spells that don't take up space on the board, like Hart mentioned, great. But it's not a catch-all kind of tech card. You can't throw this in like you would even like a Red Guardian. Honestly, like Red Guardian, I feel like is more general and better for most decks than this card. But it is really good. Like what it shuts down certain types of decks instantly and fast. Something like a Red Guardian can be dodged and played around, where this is instant. And like, you flip a coin, sometimes you can't really like stop this from happening other than Cosmo, I guess.
Yeah, I think that because I disagree with Ika about how you can't just add these things. I think I'm willing to just hold a 1-drop in a lot of decks. Like, a lot of times, even at the end of the game, a 5 plus a 1 is such a powerful play. Like, I'm happy to play this with Cannonball, right? Like, Cannonball gives me a 50-50 on one lane. This gives me, even if it's giving me a 33% chance on one lane, that's really great odds. Sometimes it's going to hit the exact right card that's going to wreck your opponent. Sometimes it's not. But like, the earlier you play it, and at one cost, it's fairly easy to fit into the curve. I just This has absolutely been a giant pain in the ass to me. I've beat it a fair amount, right? Like, it's not unbeatable, but like, against Move, against Surfer, this is a really powerful piece. Against Vicky Hand, this is a really powerful piece. And those are the best decks. So like, can you afford to play, for example, a Mr. Fantastic combo deck if this card exists? I don't think so. Like, this is just
This is
so easy to slot in.
It's also really good against Cerebro on both ends. It's making the -1 cost, but like
Mhm.
if they're playing Cerebro early for like I don't know a Bastion, you just shut down the entire game plan immediately.
It's got a lot of uses. It Almost all tech cards immediately feel good but not great, and then they start to feel even better. Um, Once we get used to them, once we realize that they're like what's winning us these games. I think this falls into that category. I think this is a good card. Um, that's going to feel better and better the more we realize how often it's winning us games. Because like a lot of times in Marvel Snap, it's right to play a 3-on-4. It's right to play a 4-on-5, that kind of play. And I just need other things to do. That's part of the power of Merlin, right? Because it's so often right to just play that one off curve, and just having a one drop that I can play at those points is so freaking important. And like I just want this to be that one drop more often than I think I want any other one drop in the game to be that one drop.
I will say this. I think out of all the cards in that has recently come out, this has had the biggest impact on the meta for sure.
Hmm.
Like people are switching up what they're playing just so they can not be punished by a card like this, right? I'm seeing a lot more like Sauron decks that just don't really care about turning off any kind of a card on the board. A lot more Arishams who are just generally just slopping down a bunch of
Yeah.
cards on the board, things like that, where you are not as concerned for your combos. Like, not that this card was much popular, but like even more punishing to play
Hmm.
this card against discard, destroy these kinds of combo decks that want early activate stuff, things like that. So it is shaping up the meta in positive or negative way. I don't know, whichever whichever you prefer, but
I mean, like with Prio, they can if this card's existence means it's so hard to play Zombie Scarlet Witch on 3. Like if your opponent can get Prio, it's so hard to play Zombie Scarlet Witch on curve right now. It's so hard to play like an early Vicky hand if you want to just frigate it. Like you better be damn sure you have Prio because your game plan is gone. Move has been fine. Like what I was really hoping this would do is really punish Move, and Move has been fine because Cloak and Hellion exist, right? So as long as Cloak and Hellion exist, unless you can get exactly Human Torch, it doesn't fucking matter. Like I've had people get Madam Web a few times. I played a decent amount of Move. I had some Move missions to get through. So I need to win 8 games of Spider Punk. It's my Move missions, and like they'll hit my Spider Punk or my Dagger or my Madam Web or whatever. And I'll just like, well, I'm not actually clogged because who cares, right? Like it's not great against Move, and we need something that's great against Move outside of Mercury. But like it's pretty damn good against everything else. I think it makes Prio matter again in a fairly big way, and it's been a little bit like when they killed all the tech cards, Prio outside of turn 6 for Shadow King stopped mattering nearly as much, and this makes Prio really really matter.
yeah.
I'm just really happy to hit a Human Torch whenever I can.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
brings joy to my life.
If you could hit the Human Torch, you're in really great shape. It's just like you should always be it should always be a 50-50 for the torch, right? And you can snap on hitting the torch, but like it should always be a 50-50 for the torch.
I just hate that guy so much. If I have any chance to hit him, I'm happy already.
Fair. All right. Final Deafening Chord thoughts, are we good?
We're good.
OT May. All right. Well, speaking of Human Torch, in the OT May, Sparky is now a 2/2 that gives +2. Raise your hand if you're surprised. Oh, no one raised their hands. Heart, tell us about Sparky and why he's still OP.
It is about time. Like +3 was ridiculous. +2 is still fine. There should be no card that moves and gives power. Think about it. What destroy card merges into
Aranya is
Deadpool
fine.
and destroys?
Aranya is fine.
None. Like if we can't have a destroy card that says merge and destroy, I don't see why move gets it. Especially because move for its doubler can do it multiple times in a turn. So you're giving it power, you're doing it multiple times in a turn. It like just bypasses all the restrictions that other decks are running with these doublers. And on top of that, Sparky was never the problem. I was running a Sparky list move deck and still getting like a 60 to 70 win percentage. The power's entirely in Torch anyway, so it doesn't really matter either way.
Yeah, Sparky. I mean, look, I wouldn't say like Sparky isn't important. It is important card. It's just that it doesn't really matter what you do to this card, as long as it's doing what it's doing as an effect. Like the stats are completely irrelevant. This could be a spell. I mean, it can't really. You want to keep the activate part of it, but you get my point. Like the power doesn't really matter. Even if it gave +1 and was zero body itself, people would still play it and move. It's just that powerful for what it does because it not only makes gives you an extra move which is obviously what you want to do. It also offsets the turns that you want to do this move on, which is the biggest part of good move players, that sets them apart from like average move players. When I'm playing against good move players, they will save this card and you just don't know when they're going to activate it on which card, and you have no idea where the power distribution goes. and that's what makes this card extremely, extremely good. And yeah, that's like irrelevant nerf, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you can also use it early to get a Madam Web trigger if you know your opponent's not playing Shadow King type bullshit, right? There's just so many options with this card. Like, it's insanely absurdly strong. It probably shouldn't have been printed. I think they've sort of backed themselves into a corner. It's going to exist. It's going to give plus power. It's going to move now. I don't know if they can make it a +1 because I think a +1 actually would kill it. Like, I don't know if I play it at +1. Like, even if it's
I
two,
don't
like,
think so.
it'd have to be like a 2/4
No.
+1 for me to care. Like, there's just too many good move
No.
cards. You'd still play it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I would. But whatever. Either way, I don't care. It's not the problem. Like, this card can exist. You just can't have Human Torch. Let's start by limiting Human Torch to
Yeah.
once per turn and see where we end up.
Yeah.
Like, if Human
But
Torch, like,
until
Fair.
Human Torch is changed.
yeah, if Human Torch is 3/3 once per turn, let's see what happens. Right? Like, because then you're probably not moving it on 3. You move it on 4, it's 6. You move it on 5, it's 12. You move it on 6, it's 24. 24 max probably seems fucking fair, right? Like, if you want to give it one more power to make sure it's lane winning, fine. If you can move it every turn, okay, fine, right? Like, but Sparky shouldn't do like. Then I think Sparky is fine. Like, it's fine on
Also, it's
Dagger.
not 24 max because like you still can Aranya it and you can still Sparky it. It's like those are
Okay.
still adding to your breakpoint.
But like, I'm fine with that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine with if I can move Human Torch every turn, and that is what I'm dedicating my game plan to. I'm probably going to win that game. But I can still compete with that on points.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
even
once
if
per
that
turn
even
is
if that's
fine.
30 something, right? Like, fine, I can still compete with 30 on point. I can't compete with Human Torch at fucking 175 points. Like, that's just fine. You won that lane, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just make it once per turn and let's see what happens. If you don't want to make it 4 cost, I like 4/3 or 4/4 Human Torch a lot as a place to start messing around. But I know a lot of people don't. Cougar with the raid too. Thanks, Coog. But yeah. Oh god, I forgot we have that stupid raid thing that Nick made happen every time, and I hate watching it. Sorry
I
everyone.
wouldn't
Nick
mind.
added that even when I told him not to.
I wouldn't
So
mind 4/3. I think we don't give that guy more power no matter what until it figures out if he needs more power or not.
I think I'm fine with 4/4 because, like, again, like, it's just so much harder to move multiple times in a turn at 4. Look, I don't really give a shit. This is too theoretical to really matter, right? Until if they do it, we'll come on and fight about it. But for the time being, we know Torch needs an adjustment, and changing Sparky probably ain't gonna fix it until they adjust Torch. All right, Storm's a 3/1 because Storm War Machine Legion ? No, Cerebro 2. Art.
Uh, I don't really care about the change. Cerebro 2 to me already wasn't a real deck once it lost Mercury and Shadow King. So it's like Cerebro 2 took the hit, whatever. It's not even. I don't even think it's like the second best Cerebro deck. Or like the third best Cerebro deck. And then like War Machine Storm Legion, yes, it's like a pretty good deck. But like I don't think that was my metagame tyrant. It might have been better at other ranks, but I barely saw the list.
Yeah, the Storm War Machine Legion thing is so weird. I don't like. Yeah, okay, have your cube, bud. Yeah, this, if anything, this just kills Cerebro 2 completely, right? Like, that's all this nerf does, because now Cerebro 2 has to run Magic, and Magic is a huge liability for any type of deck. Yeah, okay. Sure. I mean, maybe just like redesign Storm at this point. Like, obviously, they're just not happy with whatever they do with this card. So maybe just like do something different. Kill the whole flooding thing. Do something different.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think Storm probably should be a new card. Storm is one of the coolest Marvel characters, period, bar none. Unbelievably cool character, and like, she's really, really important to a lot of people's Marvel Snap journey. So a lot of people have like a lot of nostalgia for Storm, and they don't seem to want to affect that too much. But like, she's unplayable as a fair card in a way that she used to be really great as a fair card. So just redo her. Like, the only reason to use her is to do something completely broken and unfair combo wise with her. And so she should just be a different card. I want to reiterate that I think the best solution to a lot of these, and they don't want to do these because they can't charge us extra money for it. the best solution to this is to have Storm be blah, 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 to have like a level up mechanic when things get to Series 3, when you get like halfway through Series 3, like just to have certain like Series 1 and 2 cards level up to their like big boy, big girl versions. And like just have Storm become like extra power when she gets this ability, or she gets this second tagger ability, or she morphs into something new when she, you know what I mean? And then the early game players can keep Storm for whatever nonsense the early game players use Storm for, and then the later game players can like have something to do. They don't get to charge us extra money for that, so they're never going to do it. But I still think that's my favorite solution to all this. Okay. Zombie Galacti is now a 7/5. And someone rejoiced, but I don't know who. Is it playable now, Hart?
Probably playable. I don't think it's like. I think it's like Noir level, which is not like a particularly high level, but I think it's like a bad card you can theoretically play, and it like 7/5 does like give it like 6-7 more points if you're really popping off this like guarantees a win, but like it's still just a bad kind of like fringe card in general, I think.
This card's so bad. Oh my god. The OTA day I played this card, and I don't think I've lost more games with a card or a deck than I did with this in 2025. It's so bad. The only time you do get like your big combo, okay, then your opponent should just retreat at that point anyways. You're also just so scared to even go all the way with the combo. Like you will snap and then you're just still so vulnerable to so many things. I don't know. This card is just so awful, and I hope it stays awful. So because it's just such a poor type of deck to interact with.
Yeah, I got nothing. Leave it bad. Thank you. 7/5 is a fine place to leave it. It shouldn't be 7/4. I'm happy it's 7/5 because 7/4 was like hilariously bad. Like now it's just bad. I'm fine with it being just bad. Leave it just bad. Thank you. Speaking of just bad, Orca now gives +7 power to himself. Is there any reason on earth to play this over the plethora of other options? No, everyone's just shaking their head and sitting in silence. So we're gonna move on from Orca and on to Odin, who is now a 6/9, which is nice and still a better meme than 6/7. Sorry.
Odin's good now.
Now?
Yeah, no, I honestly, the 1 power made a difference. I played a lot of Odin this past couple days. It feels good.
Why
Like
did it
it
make a
feels.
difference?
It, sometimes it's the same.
I swear to God, if you say
kind of
sometimes you win a
direction.
lane by 1 power, I'm gonna fly to
Well,
and
you
punch
do.
you.
That is
Well, you
true,
do. But no, it's kind of the same difference that the 6/9 and 6/8 made on Alioth, where like Alioth feels a lot worse
Mhm.
when you just want to play down when you don't have a hit or when you don't have priority. And same goes for Odin. When you don't really have a good target for Odin, a 6/9 could just sometimes like doesn't feel like devastating compared to a 6/8. Not saying that it's like a significant difference. Ideally, you want to be doing some combo related thing that Odin pays off at the end, anyways. But like sometimes plans don't work out, and a power like that can make a difference.
Okay.
I can speak on it a bit. I think the one deck that I regularly play Odin with is Danashala. And like there's always something he's told me about it. It's the hardest lane to win is the lane you're going to Hela in. And most of the time the lane you're going to Hela in is also the lane you're going to Odin in. So like every point there like actually contributes meaningfully to like doing your pop-off thing. Is it going to be super impactful now? No, I don't think Hela's like particularly well positioned right now, but like in the future you might be like, oh, it's a lot harder to beat that Hela lane than it used to be.
I don't know. I don't care. Sorry. I'm happy for the extra point. You guys care a lot more about this than I do. It's nice to have. This is still them in my head. This is still them fixing all the things they broke when Shang went from 9 to 10 like 2 years ago at this point. because like the entire
Mm.
game was balanced around 8 being the max points you could give something without it being shonged, and then they had to make 9 the max points, but now shong doesn't matter. So like it's just an extra point. And extra points are nice. Which is basically my take for Wave, except Wave is probably decent now. I think Wave is probably better than Odin. So, tell me about Wave. Art?
Give it a month. I think like you could play like Aurora Thanos with like those Wave versions that already run like Wiccan, and it'll be a pretty solid card. I think Wave doesn't have a deck that's positioned right now, but like we saw with like Luna Snow, like a 3/6 do some sort of ramp ability can be really strong. It's just whether it can be positioned into the metagame right now. I don't think it's Wave's time to shine, but I think it will be Wave's time to shine at some point when Thanos comes back from his grave, inevitably as he always does.
Yeah, no, this one of all of the changes, I think this one matters the most.
Mhm.
It's because now you have a Luna alternative. A lot of the times when I play Luna, you're basically trying to build a deck that curves into 5s and then curves into maybe a 6 or a 2. But now you can sort of skip the 5s and just go into 6s because of because of Wave, and you get equivalent power on the board, which does matter at this point because a 3/6 is real nice. And all I've been playing is basically Wave this past couple days. It's great. Pixie Wave.
Pixie Wave. So Galactus is back according to the Facebook group because everyone is crying all over it that Galactus is unbeatable and should be changed. So that's nice. Galactus should not be hard to beat. Wave Galactus should be very, very easy to beat as a general rule. It should at worst be a 50-50. However, yay! Like this is just a really obvious and easy change that I'm happy they made. Wave was an utterly unplayable card for a long time. It makes perfect sense for this to mirror Luna. I don't know. I'm happy with this change. We'll see what changes eventually. I like that they're seemingly trying to make big cards matter a little bit more. That seems like a good thing to do in Marvel Snap, uh, because we've had small ball the meta since as long as I can remember. Since last time Arisham was really OP, right? Like it's basically Arisham and then small ball. So getting us a big cards meta for a little while is probably decent. The concern there is always that we end up with like Hella being the big card meta that we're talking about instead of like a ramp deck or something reasonable. But Pixie Chef, props to him for bringing back some big cards because like those decks wouldn't exist right now, I would think, without him. Um, so there is something there, but I don't know. I think this is ultimately a good place to push the meta because we've got so much less interesting stuff to do. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. White Queen, 3/5.
It's a joke. That card needs a text ability change. Like, I don't want to be copying your biggest thing. I'm sorry to say. Like, I don't even like big cards in the first place. Why do I copy your random big thing?
What if it got -1 cost?
Maybe like -1, -2. Maybe we're talking, but like, we're not talking at 3/5.
Fair.
Yeah. This buff is almost like, hey, look, we made Orca better, we made Odin better, Wave is better. You ready for this meta? Now you can play White Queen as well. No, okay, we're not quite there in that kind of a meta yet. We're not in the Leech Leader White Queen meta that we had back in the day. Yeah, no, this is White Queen is completely gone from the general player base's mind. It just doesn't do anything for you. It just doesn't do anything. Even if we were in a 6 cost meta where like people are playing big 6 costs, still, why would you ever play this?
So like, I think this is the least impactful OTA they've ever had. Like I think this, like at
There's
least
some
since
stinkers.
the very early ones when they were really bad and they were just like, why are we doing this, right? Like, as the really early OTAs were like atrocious. They did nothing.
Depends on how you look at bad OTA, like because there's OTAs where they make changes that are considered to be like bad.
Okay,
But this was more just like,
those
yeah, okay,
inconsequential OTA where we could have really used a shakeup,
sure.
right? Like,
I don't know if it's the most, but like, I feel like it's been like this for the past like 4 OTAs.
There have been things in each of the last few OTAs that I've been like, we can do this, we can mess with this, we can play with that. This one just changed nothing for me.
I was happy to see a move nerf. I'll take it where I can get it.
Is it? It's such a baby moves nerf.
Telling
Trust me,
you,
it doesn't
Wave
matter.
is nice.
You know what the move nerf did? It meant less people are countering moves, so move is winning more. Wave is nice.
Yeah.
Wave is the one change I care about here. And like
Wave it.
not seeing Cerebro 2 that I already wasn't seeing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I got nothing for this. This is like, I don't. This OTA, I mean, creator program gets OTA. And like, usually there's this big conversation. And like, I just said nothing about this. I was like, I have nothing to say. This, like, I have so many fucking opinions about Marvel Snap. You'll see on the next 10 slides. But like, this one is just like, huh? I
I
don't
can say
know.
what I said.
Yeah?
I said, where the hell is the Human Torch nerf?
I mean, sure, but like, not, just there's other things you can do that are interesting, right? Like, you can give us new decks to play. You can change cards like that meaningfully alter what goes into decks that we already play, right? Like, there's a million different ways you can do things, and they just chose violence. I mean, lack of violence, peace, really, really dull peace. All right, whatever. All right, this OTA really made me sad. My working assumption is that they didn't actually want to break anything this OTA because they're not planning on being in office next week to fix it. So they were just like,
Yeah.
take some bullshit. We'll come back to this in 2 weeks. I assume the next OTA will be stupidly huge. If I'm wrong, well, we'll be on this podcast in 2 weeks and I'll say I'm wrong.
Yeah. We'll see.
Ooh, Ika doesn't agree. We're doing 10 takes in Marvel Snap now. Ready? These are 10 hot takes. They're mostly negative, so we will also say how to fix them because I don't want to be ridiculously negative all episode. We had to talk about Spider-Man Noir, then a really boring OTA, and then I was like, well, I want to do 10 takes because I have like 5 that I think are really like worth talking about, and then it was very easy to come up with another 5. Actually, I had to cut 4 or 5 at the end of the day because, again, a lot of opinions is not my problem. That's why that OTA annoyed me so much. There's children screaming in my hallway, and it's distracting me. Number 10. 2 limited time game modes a month has ruined their feeling special. Hart?
I'll argue they never felt special, so I disagree with this hot take. For me, the only game modes I've really enjoyed, and I will give them a shout out for where they have done well, is every time I played Grand Arena, I have loved the Grand Arena, and I think they have done a really good job with certain limited time game modes, specifically Grand Arena. But most of the game modes to me felt
they're
like
ruining Grand Arena next month. Did you not see that? All right, good.
but yeah, for me it is
Actually,
yeah,
I'm
like the volume I didn't really care about. I played the limited time game modes to get the card, and then I never touched them again, except for Grand Arena. I love that.
Okay, I'll say this one. Maybe the lack of variety in the
Mm-hmm.
limited game modes is maybe what's causing this issue rather than the quality of them, right? Because I don't really care about like high voltage, for example. We just had a high voltage. Do you guys remember we had a high voltage?
I didn't even load the mode. That's what
I
the
didn't even
version
play
of this
one game.
0 game. I didn't press the button on my screen to see what was there.
Yeah. Well, there was nothing. So you didn't miss anything. It was just borders, which is, their way of testing, like, okay, are people engaging with these game modes because of what they're getting or how fun they are? And I think the answer is very clearly what they're getting, right? Because you play them because you want new cards or whatever. Whenever there's a new card, that's when you get the most engagement out of these game modes, and not much when it's just borders and stuff, because there's only like people only like specific of these limited time game modes like Grand Arena or Sanctum Showdown, and I think that's it. Like, I think those two are the ones that people gravitate towards, and rest are just like, I guess I'll play this because I have to get the new card.
If there's like 50 limited time game modes and I'm still waiting 6 months for them to come back, maybe I'm excited. But we've had like 15 high voltages. I mean, like, how many times am I going to be like, look, high voltage is back. Did you know? Here's how you play it. Here's the same fucking... Oh my God. Like, and Grand Arena feels really good, right? Because we've seen it twice. Tell me how it feels on the 7th time we've seen it and we start getting it every other month. Like, it's just, you can't, if you have 5 game modes, and I'm pretty sure it's 5 is the like number they have, doing 2 a month is absurd. Like,
I mean, it's also like, it's funny to say this, but they're also just suffering from their own success of having the main game mode be so good. Uh, like the main ladder and even conquest is just such a good experience that they really fail in comparison to these limited time game modes. So it's kind of like they shot themselves in the foot by making a really good base game, I guess.
but
It's
like,
funny to say that, but
if you had to wait 6 months between high voltage, and you like even if I could not, I could never say high voltage again and be happy. But if I didn't see high voltage for 6 months and it came back, I'd be like, huh, okay, I haven't seen that in a while. I'll screw around with that. What does that feel like, right? When I'm seeing it every other month, like, I can't possibly care less.
My opinion on this is I'm assuming I'm there like team class because it looks pretty cool, but I like Grand Arena specifically because it gives you like a new flavor of the game.
Mhm.
Like I couldn't make a Hulk deck before, but like with that hero, I had like a new flavor of the game I could pursue. And that's why I liked it. But I feel like right now a lot of the game modes kind of feel samey almost. Like Deadpool Diner, I'm just playing regular Snap. But now I gotta stress out a bit more.
Not anymore. Now you can just snap all you want. There's less stress now.
Well, but you know what I meant.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I think that they're fine modes overall, but like they're meant to be done in short bursts and rarely. Like, you can't, like, if it's just regular Snap with a twist, doing it constantly is just like, well, I'll just play regular Snap then. And doing it rarely
yeah.
means cool, look, at least it's a little different. But like, it's just they need double to triple the number of game modes. I don't think they have ideas for that, by the way. Where's our draft mode?
Good question.
Oh gosh.
Where is it?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine. They hate money. We've established this, right? Okay. Number 9. Second dinner are terrified. Is terrified? Probably should be is. That's what happens when you make these the second you wake up. Is terrified of releasing new Arishem, so big card releases have been consistently disappointing.
You mean like
game
they're
defining
afraid of
game defining 6s and 7s have been largely a disappointment since Arishem, as they don't want to release a new card that everyone plays constantly and needs multiple reworks and yada yada. So they've been releasing them way too weak.
I don't think that's true. I'm looking at that 7-cost Fing Fang Foom, and that's the most ridiculous text I've read on a card in over a year.
That's over a year later. We'll see, man. We'll see, because like we'll see what that comes out looking like. Because like Zombie Galacti and like everything from Khonshu to Zombie Galacti, I feel like anything time they've released something big, anything more than 5, it's been like severely undertuned.
My opinion is they release like a bunch of bad cards and they don't release a ton of 6 or 7 drops. So like if most of the cards in my opinion aren't doing too great, it's even harder to make a great like 6-7 cost. So they're just bad in general 6-7 cost. So it's even harder to do it and they just don't hit a lot of the time.
I mean, they also just haven't really released a whole build around like deck warping card in a while. Like Galacti. Galacti is like the last one, I guess. And even that, it's like, it's not like you're doing anything so different from what you're used to. You're still kind of doing like, oh, I'm going to Shuri into this card. And then, like you're not, there aren't necessarily any new lines or deck warping things that's happening too much. Like, Galacti is definitely. Dormammu. Okay, yeah. You see, like Dormammu, definitely one of those kind of cards that definitely they've been buffing over and over. Isan is not that kind of a card. Isan's just a card.
Khonshu?
Again, Khonshu is also just a card to me.
Oh, I don't think so. I think Khonshu is asking.
Yeah, you're not really.
Like, I don't think card deck so. They didn't want Khonshu. I don't think they wanted Khonshu to just go on Apocalypse. I think they wanted Khonshu to be a thing.
Maybe. I'm waiting for the next high Evo. Next Next, well, the Thanos, things that are just like, oh my god, you're doing something totally different than anyone else.
Hmm. Those sell. Why don't they release them?
It's hard to come up with them.
It's yeah, lack of creativity, maybe. Like I don't want to, I don't want to dog on
Ouch.
second dinner being. I don't know. Look, they're much better designers than I would ever dream of being. But maybe sometimes you
So
hit some blocks.
I think that we got data mined an insanely good Isan, and then he was nerfed into being junk.
Oh, that
I
was
think
interesting.
I
Yeah.
think that they released both Dormammu and and remember when they were like, we're scared Dormammu's gonna be great, and like they re-nerfed it. And that then they did the same fucking thing with Zombie Galacti, suggests a pattern. That they're like really, really nervous about these big cards, which should be the opposite of the lesson they took from Arisham to me. Like make big cool shit and people will spend their money on your game is a good lesson.
I think Aerosmith was also something a bit different because Aerosmith's like effect is his entire like gimmick. But like playing a 7 cost usually it's like not going to be a great thing to do. Like you need a reward for it that's very, very good.
They seem to
Because
think
you're not playing
Dormammu
Aerosmith,
had
you're
that
getting it.
reward. They seem to
Yeah,
think
no,
Dormammu was that reward. They really did.
Yeah, Dormammu was a miss for sure.
yeah,
That's the
100%.
one that's definitely like a deck building kind of thing, and definitely a miss.
Fair enough. Moving along. Number 8. As bad as move can be for the meta, hand and mini move being top decks is the sign of a healthy overall metagame.
No,
I,
I don't know about that
I,
one.
I had this phrased as negatively first. And I was like, these are too negative, so I rephrased this to be positive. Go ahead.
You want to take it away, Ika, or you want me to?
No, go ahead.
Okay. How I think about it is Victoria Hand being the tech deck of the metagame is not a good thing because that is as close as a tech deck can get to a combo deck. So it's just like super, super combo. And then like mini move, it's like, okay, I can play 2 types of move. I got 2 types of move. Pick your poison. We can play mini move. We can play big move. If you want, we can also play move with Mercury. We'll figure it out. There'll be a bunch of moves in here. Like I don't know if this is like the sign of a healthy metagame. I think it's the sign of a warp metagame. It's asking, how do I justify Shadow King? How do I justify Mercury? I can justify Mercury in mini move, it beats move. I can justify Shadow King in hand, it beats move. I think everything right now is just pointing to move.
Yeah, I would agree with that exactly. V hand especially is the one that makes me mad at for a weird reason. It's just for the fact that we just have no other option. You're like, oh, you want to play some sort of a deck that interacts with your opponent? That's your only option, the end, because you need some kind of a deck that also can go freakishly huge when you get your combo pieces going, and not just, oh, I'm playing, what was her name?
Sarah control.
Yeah, like Sarah Control or like those mid-range
Mm-hmm.
Gwenpool style decks or whatever it was, Kitty Pryde stuff. Like you can't really be playing those because they themselves are vulnerable to the best tech card in the game, Shadow King. And so you end up being like, oh, what's the most combo heavy card deck I can make that also can run some tech cards? V hand. And that just means that there's just lack of options for the types of players that love interaction. And that's me. I love interacting with my opponent. Even if I'm not just like, I'm not talking just like fully teched out deck. I just want to do stuff that is in like in response to whatever my opponent is doing. And that could be just interacting with tech. It could be moving cards, or it could be distributing my power according to how things are going, not just like close my eyes and hope my combo gets drawn.
Yeah, so I don't like playing solitaire across from my opponent where the only interaction is what locations give us.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what can do that outside of tech cards really, but I think that move is a reasonably cool way of mini move is a reasonably cool way of accomplishing that because I can just move my opponent's stuff without necessarily destroying it. I can move my own stuff and like make them react to where my power is going, and that's that's like pseudo interaction, right? Like they have to react to my power moving to how much is going to end up here, there, elsewhere. I think that's a reasonably cool way to do things. Um, Being able to say like, oh, my Craven is here, but like I can potentially Hellion and move it there, or I can put your power over there with Juggernaut or Cannonball, is a way to interact. And it's not like there's only so many ways to interact in this game, right? It's basically blow my opponent's shit up, get rid of its text, or move it. So maybe what the actual thing is if they don't want us to have the blow my opponent shit up tech, which they mostly remove from the game, um, we need more ways to interact with opponents, more ways to do things that our opponent on the other side of the board has to react to, and less things that are like just I do my thing on my side of the board, you do thing on your side of the board. We see who has a bigger number at the end, because that's not a game to me. That's both of us
I
like.
think
I didn't like so many games right now, and we'll talk more about this later. So many games right now are won or lost based on what decks we're playing, and so few are based on like choices we make. Assuming I can
Yeah.
be bothered to pay attention to the game, because sometimes I don't even pay attention anymore. I'm just like, yeah, my deck will do it or it won't.
I can say one of the problems I think is the biggest problem right now is there's just too much exponential stuff. It's like, why is V-Hand so good? It's copying V-Hand, and then your V-Hands become exponentially large.
Mhm.
Like when I played my fourth V-Hand, I played a 211 that buffs the entire board. Moving on from that, Dakin does that, even though it's like one of the worst decks and like worser decks, but you can still play it. Move obviously does that. The Jocasta stuff does that. It's multiplying the number of effects on
Mhm.
board. Every deck you can think about in the metagame is either specifically targeting those combo decks or just those combo decks that are just doubling something somehow.
yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's what it's creating mostly, and I think the sort of the point I'm trying to get to when I'm talking about like interactivity is seeing a turn 6, which
Mhm.
often you don't right now. You're like you kind of if you're especially in a high meta like high rank infinite or whatever, you know you've lost the game by turn 4 or 5 for sure. If you're staying in turn 6, it means you're both playing some sort of like, oh yeah, even turn 3s a lot of the time, of course, especially if you have just a matchup that you know you just can't win. But at least by turn 5, you know you're done. Unless you're both playing a type of deck that's like a mini move, right? Like if you're both trying to move around power and trying to interact with each other through means of like, am I going to put my power here? Am I going to put my power here? Am I going to move your card there? Am I going to shut down something over there? That's when you see turn 6s. That's what makes game exciting. Um, but you don't see that when you have this kind of meta.
Fair enough. Meta poopy. Next. The infinite leaderboard has never meant less, so Marvel Snap players have never been overall worse. Yeah, that's two claims in one. I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to delete, so I combined them.
I can speak on this. The problem with SP has, I know from personal experience, has really demotivated a lot of the top players. Like a lot of them just don't want to like grind because there's no point. There'll be some guy who gets 3,000 SP in like 4 hours, and you're like, okay, for me to do that, I would literally need to get a cube every game for 4 hours straight, and like that just demotivates like a lot of top players to do that, and a lot of them are playing less, so the match quality. Like if you're a top player, you're going to be worse because you're not playing against the usual players you're playing that are playing at a super high level.
Yeah, absolutely. It used to be also that like high rank infinite was more competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being top 100 was like, oh my god, okay, for sure, you're like one of the best. Now it's like, yeah, you're of course still one of the best being top 100, but it's so within your reach now. If you're just someone that's like dedicated to play this game for multiple hours a day and is good at snapping and whatnot, you can get top 100 pretty, like, I'm not gonna say easily, but like you can get there. Whereas, like I said before, everyone is so crowded in terms of like high top players that things were swinging up and down in terms of your rank constantly, and it was really interesting. I wouldn't necessarily say players have never been overall worse. It's just I think the types of this kinds of metas make bad players shine a little bit more, and a good player can recognize when that player is still making mistakes but is winning. Like that's how it's so tough to explain. Like the types of decks that
Don't
are
reward
viable
skill.
because yeah, like they don't all require skill. Like you still need skill obviously, but you
Mm-hmm.
can tell like, yeah, my opponent won, but why would they do that? Like they could have just gotten like 10 more power by doing something else or something like that, right? Like it's just that the skill gap has decreased because of the type of meta that we have.
No, I will say I think match quality overall has gone down. Because like the other 2 days, I think it was like sometime this week, I had 2 days where like I literally only lost one cube because I could tell the outcome of the game, like just based off like what was happening. And I think that's something to say. If you can just tell the outcome of the game by like turn 3, turn 4, then the margins are probably so high in the matchup that's like easier to win when you're a worse player than it is to win when like you're a better player. It's not like improving your win rate if you're a better player. It's just like, did I get the roll? Did I not get the roll? Might improve your cube rate, but it's not like your win rate should be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I used there for the first 3 years of this game. Oh, hi kitty. No, don't mute the kitty. I basically never didn't load Snap for a day. Like every single day I loaded Snap, and then now I skip 2 days a week, almost every week. And it's just like the difference to me is I don't mind losing when I make a bad play. I feel like the skill of the game has largely come down to when you snap and when you retreat, and not what you play where when. And a lot of it used to be trying to read the opponent, trying to figure out what to play, trying to like when I first started streaming, I remember asking Nico, I was like, what do I need to get better at specifically? And Nico was like, read your 50-50s better. And it was just like I wasn't especially great at reading 50-50s, and like read your 50-50s better was a real skill that like top players developed over time. Like my opponent should be doing this like this. Do I play around it? Do I not? I know the tendencies of these players type things. Doesn't matter anymore because it's just like, oh, they have a combo that I'm not going to be able to stop or interact with, or I can stop or interact with it. And that's all you're reading. Like it's not where they're playing what in nearly the same way. It like there's so many fewer decision points toward the end of the game. All the decisions happened earlier, and most of those revolved around whether they snapped and when I should retreat appropriately. And like I feel like that being the case has made it so that paradoxically, people have become worse than at snapping and retreating because everyone hates retreating. So people are like bad players are staying on far worse snaps than they used to before, and they're snapping far less often. The sheer number of games I play where I'm just like, where the fuck is your snap? You're sitting there with like
Yeah.
a fucking 70 power Human Torch. I might have Shadow King, but you should snap me and fucking make sure, right? Like, what are
Yeah.
we doing? And then they snap, and I immediately retreat. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's 5 turns too late. You could have kept me. You could have an extra cube. Nope, you didn't do it. And then like by the end of the game, I like there's that like moment of like, oh my god, do I have it? Oh my god, do I have it? That's just not there anymore 80% of the time. If they stayed, like either I lost or I won, right? Like and I knew what was happening. And sometimes I just stay because I don't fucking care about my rank anymore. And part of the reason I don't care about my rank anymore is because like I mean, I don't know how y'all stay top 100 every season. I did it and I was like, "Yeah, I did it. I know I can do it." Now like I have to play how many games to keep doing that? No, thank you. But like B like why does it matter? Right? Like I'm not getting any of that like cool mental workout I did from it in the way I used to. And so like I can play the right deck. If I promise you, if I decide to play move or like V-hand or mini whatever, pick the fucking top deck for enough games in a day, I'll be top 100 in a week. Like who fucking cares? What am I accomplishing? Like I mean, I can also do the same thing with an ongoing combo if it would make you happy. Like those like 4 or 5 decks are just like I can play the combo that everyone can interact with, and I can identify whether they're countering me or not. The game is over.
Yeah. You know what my most played deck has been this past 2 days? It's Wong, Cersei, Tiger stuff. You know why? Because that keeps them in turn 6. Because they don't know what you're gonna do, and it's really fun when you just play Cersei on Wong and you just let random things happen, and sometimes you BS your way out of a game, and sometimes you lose to a random Modoc or something like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
but at least I'm seeing stuff happen. I want to feel something.
Yeah. That was
I
I
don't
mean
know. I've been playing mostly V-hand. I think
well
it's an enjoyable deck, but I think like on the scale of combo, I think it's the least combo of the combo decks that are like
For
meta
sure.
right now.
yeah, it's the
But
one that runs
I've been
tech
enjoying
cards.
that. Yeah.
It's the combo deck that runs like 4 interaction pieces. So yes, it is technically the least combo of the combo. V-hand is fine. V-hand I really liked V-hand when it was like the 4th best combo deck, and now that it's like the best not combo deck, the 4th best tech combo deck, and now that it's just the best tech combo deck, I'm not sure where I land on it.
Yeah, we just need more mid-range options.
Yeah, I mean, well, they got rid of them when they killed all the tech, right? I
Yeah.
just,
Like I
I,
think nerfing tech was gonna be enough. Like I
I
think
th-
they could have kept all the mid range stuff.
oh,
Yeah, give me back Galacta.
well,
Yeah, Galactus. Give us
well,
back Galacta.
well. Nerfing tech is a short-term positive, long-term negative.
I
Was
think
a
it's the
short-term
opposite.
positive. Heart?
Oh, I have a lot
Oh,
to say. If you got something to say, Art, you say it
Ika,
now.
you can go first. You can go first.
All right. Okay. I actually disagree. I think, but from a different perspective. Okay, for me, yes, yeah, I think in long term it sucks. I know um, the categories. Yes, I agree in that sense. But in terms of general, like general player base and even second dinner's bottom line, this is perfect. Here's why. Here's why. Right. When you have nerfed tech cards, it makes your silly combo deck ideas better, right? You if you're someone that logs into this game once a week, once a month, maybe even, and you just want to do some like Zola, like Black Panther Zola stuff, and not just get absolutely teched by 6 different tech cards that were in the
hmm
meta when mid range was the most powerful, like you will be able to do that. You will lose some games to actual people who do run tech cards, but those are so far and in between, especially in like low CL and things like that, that you're going to have fun playing this game. And alternatively, you look at a lot of the popular content creators for this game, right? Like other than people who specifically focus on like the best decks, like you, Glazer, or like Cam, or things like that. You look at Regis, and you look at other other people that love making like content about decks that people can try and have fun with. A lot easier to make those kinds of content when you can jump into a 1 hour gameplay and not die 50 minutes of that to every tech card. So in general, long term, I think it's a positive, but for me, I would agree with this.
I'm on the opposite. I completely disagree with this. I think it's the opposite. I think short term is going to be a negative and long term will be a positive. Because what happens when you nerf all the tech? All the outliers show up, and then second dinner has to play the janitor role and clean them all up. As you can see, it takes a while for them to do it for one deck, like move. Eventually, hopefully, they'll have cleaned up like most of like the ridiculous combo stuff, and then it's like still combo stuff, but not ridiculous. And I think tech should have a cost. Like you should need to be able to justify your tech in some way, like Pixie justifying Mobius, I think is interesting. Behan being able to justify Deafening Chord because it goes into the game plan. I think that's the most interesting idea for tech for me. But if you're paying the cost, but you can justify in a cool way, then that's like a unique part of the deck. I don't really like when, I don't know, I'm running 6 to 7 tech cards in a deck. And it's like, why am I running them? They're good stats and they mess up my opponent.
I don't trust Second Dinner not to just release a bunch of deafening chords and charge them for us. It's my honest take.
I mean,
Like the 2 months after being like tech is bad, they're like, you know which tech card's kind of okay and we're barely gonna nerf? The one we just created as a Series 5 card, Cosmic Ghost Rider. And then like 2 months later, they're like, well, you know what else we can do? How about a 1-drop Red Guardian? That seems like a new thing, right? Right. Like I think that this is likely going to lead to them just selling us a bunch of new tech cards instead of old ones until we hit critical mass again and everyone's running tech decks, except only top players can afford them because they'll be really expensive. And
they created a power vacuum, and then they're filling it themselves up
no,
with other new tech cards.
I'm not kidding. I think that's what they did.
I mean, yeah, no, for sure. I just don't know if that's going to be that trend will continue. Like for example, I predict that in the upcoming season where Destroy is going to be the focus, I think they will like nerf Cosmo. Well, Cosmos was too good. We had to nerf Cosmo.
I mean,
That's kind of the stuff they do. I think they will shift and shape the tech cards depending on what season we're in.
I
It's like
mean,
when US Agent got nerfed for Doom 2099.
Yeah.
that used to be the thing, right? Like it would be like they'd release a new cost reduction card, and we'd be like, we can't evaluate this for a week because everyone's going to Mobius for a week. And like it was just like, how good is Sasquatch? Who knows? Mobius is in every deck. Like it's just, I don't know. I think that it's time to look into rotation or something like it.
I think as long as you make peace with the fact that second dinner shapes their own meta, and they will just shape the tech cards depending on what they want to be relevant in the meta, I think you will have a good time. You just have to accept that that's just the direction that the game is in now. That's it.
Okay. Do we accept that?
I mean, do we have a choice?
Sure. I mean, there's always a choice. It's what we do with our free time, right? Like, how
Yeah,
much of
you
our free
turn off the
time do we
game, yeah.
devote, right? Like, do we accept that? I think is a big question because I feel like a lot of the answer from a lot of top players has been play less. And like, a lot of the problem with that is a lot of the biggest content creators outside of Regis, right, are like content creators, are top players, which means that like if they're playing less, then second dinner's getting less content, less attention, so on. Outside of Golden Gauntlet, with all due respect, I attribute part of Guest's rise to that, where like he plays a lot more fun. He does his sax parties, and it's a lot less like competitive snap focused. Again, outside of GG, and like part of the reason that he's doing so much better is that like so many like of the people that were shaping the meta in terms of top play are just like other things. Like Hart spent 3 months playing Balatro or something, right? Like
But I was just playing other games. I got annoyed.
yeah, like I just feel like that's happening with a lot of people, right? Like rip Woody wherever the fuck Woody went.
He,
But
I think he's like top 10 in what's that game called, The Bazaar or something.
is he? He's top 10 in Bazaar. Yeah. Okay. So he found a new game to be top 10. But you see what I mean? Like I feel like they've made these choices, and like the long term result is just like the long term negative is people spend less time on Marvel Snap because there's less depth.
But I think my point is that people don't spend less time in Marvel Snap. We us as like the people who are super engaged in this game may, but I think the general audience is actually probably increasing. Like second dinner's not stupid, right? Like they will make changes to what they think is the best for their bottom line, and if they're making a change that like they think that is increasing the number of players that they're getting or returning or whatever, I think they're just going to keep doing that, and I think this is doing that.
I could see that. I've also tracked trends across YouTube and Twitch, so maybe just there's like this. There's like it's so hard to argue the invisible mobile base that
Yeah.
knows nothing about the game, right? But I do know that YouTube and Twitch are down for everyone. Like it's like when I first moved, I talked a lot about it, and people yelled at me about it. They're like, "People aren't watching your content anymore. We're still watching just as much as everyone else." And I was like, "No, like I'm a crazy person. So up until like 2 months ago, I had charts of every top Marvel Snap YouTuber, and not charts. I don't make charts. I make lists, and then I look at lists. But I had like sub and viewer lists for every top Twitch streamer and YouTuber in Marvel Snap, and no, everyone was down about the same percent. Like it seems like about 40 to 60% of the player base just left around the Kid Omega.
But I think, but we don't know. Yeah, I think Kid Omega was the one that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't. It's hard to judge from that
How much
point on.
well, sure,
Yeah.
because we have the invisible. So with the best information we have, they've lost a lot. Oh, I was like, what is this payment that's going away? My chat GPT payment. Okay. I needed it for work for something. I need to cancel that shit. Okay, sorry.
I think I still theorize that in general there is an increase of casual audience engaging with the game that we don't see because they're not the type of people that watch YouTube videos all the time, as is what I would say.
Okay. Maybe.
It's hard to know. We're just speculating though.
Yeah, so I tend to just focus on the part of the player base we do know. And I think that the part of the player base we do know is this is a long-term negative.
No, we'll see.
We shall see. Actually, we won't see.
We can't do anything else.
We also just have no way of measuring it outside of like you know what I mean? Like, well, we'll get to that. That'll be a later one.
Yeah.
All right, this is the best monetization Snap has ever had. Ooh,
Okay. I mean, yeah. Is it the best that Snap has ever had?
Probably.
Maybe,
I can
yeah,
start if you
probably.
want. I can start
Probably,
if you
yeah.
guys want.
go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I'm somebody who at this point I literally don't spend money on the game. I get the season pass from the codes, and then I've never bought any like gold or anything, so I don't spend money on the game, but I get the season pass. So from like that perspective, I feel like I have all the cards I want in the game. Even though I'm like missing like 40 cards, like I do not care about Zombie, Galactus, Spider-Man, Noir. There's so much junk in there that I think like just having the ability to like choose the cards was like the major break point for me, where I feel like I have a lot more decision making now. Before it's like I have to decide week 1, am I getting this card? Otherwise I'm locked away for it basically forever because tokens are so hard to get. But now that like there's a constant token flow, I feel like it's like 1 or 2 good cards I want a season, and I can get that within the flow of like 12 to 18K tokens. I get a season.
Yeah, I mean, it's great if your collection complete. The problem is that it kind of forces you to keep staying collection complete. You can like never slow down. Once you're on the train, it just always keeps going. Because then you're like diluting your packs and things like that. Like if you want to stay like cheap in the game, like saving 1,000 tokens every week on a card release or multiple card releases per week, you have to just always keep getting the new cards, which is great for me because I'm doing fine. Like I have enough tokens saved up to keep doing this for a very, very long time.
Seemingly infinitely. It's
Yeah,
200.
seemingly infinitely, maybe, but it's not great for someone that's not buying every card every week. But that's always been the case, I guess, right? So
I just think snap packs are a trap for everyone but us. I think most people should just be buying the direct card they want with tokens whenever they want a card with tokens and ignoring
I've
the
never
snap pack
opened a
system.
snap pack.
Yeah, there you go. See that? I think
I've
snap.
literally never opened a snap pack.
Yeah, I think they're wrong. Like I think that like smart players like Hart should be just buying the cards they want and ignoring the zombie Galactus of the world, and thus there is no downside to the new system. Just like you spend the extra 1,000 tokens, but you're saving like 12,000 tokens for every extra 1,000 you spend because like you're just not getting a zombie Galactus you would never play, right? Like I think that is what makes the monetization so good, and part of it is just they keep releasing poopy cards. Like I just
yeah,
feel like they haven't released cards that I'm really excited for in a while. Like Spider-Man, I think Superior will eventually be one of the best cards in the game. But like if you skip that, what are you missing right now?
yeah.
Punk and Noir are
I
pretty
got it.
good, right?
I got Superior and Chord.
There you go.
That's it.
And Punk.
I mean,
did you get Man Spider?
No.
Okay, well,
I mean, like they're also just like really increasing the number of cards that we're getting, right? Like,
yeah.
like really increasing the number of cards we're getting, so that like you gotta keep up. You gotta keep up.
Or not, right? Like you can just say no. I'm just gonna buy 3 cards a season that I like.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
I just don't know what you need most of these cards for. Like they're increased it, but like they release
You
so
need them to
many
dilute the
bad cards.
packs.
But like if you don't open packs and just buy your cards individually, then you
Yeah,
just
of course.
ignore
But
it,
then you're
right?
spending more to buy cards
But
individually,
you're
and
not.
then their hope is that you would run out of
Yeah,
tokens
but you're
eventually,
spending
etc.
less because there's so many weeks you just skip and save all your money.
Yeah. From personal experience, there's literally a month I think I bought 1 card because I'm like, all of this is like terrible, and then there's like that one guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like last month, if you didn't want to play zombies, which was a perfectly viable thing, how many cards did you buy?
If I didn't want to play zombies, I probably would have bought nothing.
You just skip a month. You just save fucking 30,000 tokens, right? Like, and now next month you just buy the 2 cards you want, and you're still ridiculously ahead.
Yeah, maybe Power Man is the one anomaly from the list because it's a discard card.
Yeah, but like even then, you don't need Power Man to play discard.
No, of course not. But like I'm saying, like
Yeah,
it's one thing that you might gravitate towards.
right. But even then, you spent. I mean, then at that point you're buying Cap too, right? Colonel.
Yeah.
So like you spent 8,000 or 9,000 tokens in a month if you assuming you paid full price and you just didn't buy anything else, right?
I think next month I only plan on buying one card off the top of my head, Maverick. Nobody else I can think of.
I mean, if you don't like destroy, it's another easy month to just be like, I don't do these,
Yeah.
right? Like, and some of those destroy cards are just like Nimrod cards. So if you're not like hyper specifically into Nimrod, like you can just be like,
Yeah.
why engage with snap packs? If it's again, this is serious advice to players who are watching this. If you are not collection complete and don't want to like spend to be, just do it this way. Don't engage with snap packs. Ignore them. And you, this
100%.
is the best monetization ever.
Yeah.
Anything else? We good with this one? Next one. Without series drops, eventually this economy is going to collapse.
I agree. I think the one solution is at least do Series 5 to Series 4 because oh my god, the Series 5 is so cluttered right now. It's like at least with Series 4 you can start like offloading it and now it's like, oh, I can get one of these cards per week. There's like a little bit of offload there. With every card Series 5, it's gonna get to the point where like decks are like 11 out of 12 Series 5 cards and like being a new player, you're looking at that and you're like, so I just can't play anything.
Yeah. No, that's kind of it's just it's this whole series thing is like some part of the ladder gets inflated, right? Like if we're talking about, oh, they gotta do a lot of series drops, then like the series 3 gets inflated in a weird way, which isn't really a problem because you get those cards for free, I guess. Um but I don't know, like I don't know if that fits because then a new player can get a random series 3 card of a huge pool and that might
We're already
offset the kind of
there.
meta that I mean, yeah, I don't know what kind of protection they want to have for like early collection level players, right? Because if you have a huge series 3 card pool, then you could be running into so many random things as a low collection level player. So I don't know if that's something they want to protect or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, in general, yeah, they need to do more series drops, 100%.
My suggestion for this would be give us like I don't even care what the currency is called. Give us a currency that we could like look in a card, where it says unknown cards, click on the card and be like, okay, I unlocked this series 3. I don't have to wait the entire month for it to rotate. I can get that one series 3 I want. And I think that alleviates the bloat. It's like, sure, there's 100 ones, but I could just look at them and like click the one I want.
Yeah. I mean, it's also just Cliff in chat says that even just Series 5 to Series 4 would be a huge bonus. Like, take
Yeah, that's
some
a big
shit
one.
out of Series 5, make them, like, that's half price. That's a 50% price reduction. And that means that every time you open one of the, like, you get to one of those spots on the collector's track, you can just get a card. But,
Yeah.
like, 90% of Series 4 is utter garbage. Like, there's, like, 7 or 8 good Series 4 cards. Whenever I do a top 10 Series 4 cards, I'm like, there's, like, 7 cards I really want, and then a bunch of shit that's super niche.
Yeah.
Like, put good
Yeah.
shit in Series 4 is a nice thing. Because forever, Series Drop meant drop the worst cards in each series, right? So Series 4, when they stopped doing Series Drops, just was full of shit.
Yeah. Even if you're dropping the worst cards now, still at least like the worst cards aren't costing 6K now; they're costing 3K.
Yeah. Like, and again, this is yet another reason to not deal with snapbacks, right? Like, because there's just so much shit. Like, your odds of getting something completely terrible are pretty high. Like, you're just like, I need a playable card, and you get Zombie Galactic, and you're just like, oh, what do I do now? Just don't. Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't. Just don't. Just buy the fucking card. Yeah, what chat again from Cliff, but it's like, but I like to gamble. And it's like, yeah, man, that's how they make their money. They literally make their money because people like to gamble. They're like, and they named it the Snap Pack system because they're not idiots. So in naming it the Snap Pack system, right? They're just like, oh, everyone should do Snap Packs, and like, but that's the thing people shouldn't do. And like, but people like gambling feels good because sometimes you get like the exact card you want at a discount, and then you get an extra card. It's like awesome feeling, and then like you ignore the other 18 times where you just like spent your 2 weeks of token income and got like utter garbage. It is, I mean, like it's standard mobile game predatory. It's actually like having played a lot of Raid now, it is less predatory than a lot of mobile games. However, it's still like That's what I'm here for, to tell you don't do that. Right? Like fucking, and also like people need to post more about series drops. Put up the pressure for series drops so we actually get them. Like whatever you're complaining about, whatever tech card, whatever card thing, should probably be a complaint about series drops. If that they start seeing it and they have no choice, we're all better off. All good?
Yeah.
Number 3. This is a big, weird gameplay one. I think Snap could really use an alternative win condition outside of win 2 out of 3 locations. I don't know what that is, but something like I can also win a Snap game by doing this. And like maybe that's a
Like-
card specific thing, right?
I could suggest one.
What?
What if we could clog locations? That's an alternative win condition.
It's not.
What if we
though.
could play Storm on a location? That's also an alternative win condition.
It's
a way
not,
to win
though.
the game by
It's-
not going through the 6 turns.
Sure, but it's still saying I win 2 out of 3 locations and have more power in them. I think a real alternative win condition. If you can do this, you also win.
That just opens up a room for more combo
That's fine.
stuff, right?
That's fine. Like you have like 5 or 6 of those. Like I don't know if one, like unless it's one for everything, right? Like if you can do X, you can also win the game, right? Like if you can get to over, I don't know, 1,000 points in a location, the game immediately ends and you win. So like that's an alternate thing. You can win 2 out of 3 by 6 turns, or you can do that, or you can have it be like
Galactus.
Yeah. Or you can have it be like, yeah, Galactus is the closest example we got. Or it
Yeah.
could be like there's specific cards like Galactus that offer you that. But you have to play that specific card to do so.
My opinion is Marvel Snap has a few alternative win conditions. They're just utterly garbage. And like the one that was like kind of fine in Claw got like absolutely nuked the
That's
other
not
day.
a win that's not an alternate win condition. That's the same exact win condition. It's interacting
Well-
how you get to that win condition. That's not the same as changing the win condition.
I don't know, because the way I view alternative win conditions is like in Snap, it's a game of 6 turns. Anything that's like operating on the axis of I'm going to win this game flat out, like before turn 6, that's Claw's goal, to win it before turn 6, is like to me an alternative win condition because it's going against the typical dichotomy of I just drop all my cards on turn 6, put out 1 billion power, I win.
I think I think what Glazer's more meaning like is like if you move
Exodia.
this one card like 15 times
Mhm.
in one game, you automatically just win. Is kind of the stuff, right? Which again, like it could be a really slippery slope. It could be really fun though. It could be maybe just to test it as a limited time game mode or something. I always thought that like maybe the card backs should do something with your deck.
So
Like, why do we have so many card backs that don't do anything other than cosmetics that you barely don't even see? Actually,
I mean, like, so this isn't where my mind went at first, but like, Uni in chat mentions like magic with poison counters or milling a deck out, stuff like that. Like, it can't be those for Snap, right? But like something similar in concept, where it's just like you also win if you do this. Not like you win because the game would end otherwise because locations are clogged or because you can't play or anything, but the game actually ends through this other way you can win. And yeah, I'm sure you could make that and have it be stupid and terrible and everyone hate it, but there's also like a million ways to make it cool. And you could, like, it could be card backs, it could be anything. It could be a card, an extra thing you add to your deck, right? Like you can make it like Avengers or X-Men. You play X-Men and now you can win if you do this with X-Men characters type thing.
I could see that. It would just have to be like really hard to do because
Yeah.
like Exodia almost. It's like if someone's doing Exodia consistently, you just hate the game.
Sure. But like, and then that becomes a counter, right? Like, can these decks counter each other? What can you do? And you get a whole new like series of gameplay. Like, oh, I have to win. My deck's game plan is to win after 6 turns, but I recognize that there's these other game plans that are trying to win by doing X, Y, or Z, and thus I have to think about different things and play different things. I think it's a really cool way to add depth to Snap, and I think we're almost out of ways to just add depth by like printing different shit on cards, as evidenced by the like absolute deluge of boring and samey cards.
I feel like that could be like an interesting wrinkle in like Grand Arena, where like, oh, if you're choosing Magneto, you could win just by, I don't know, doing something that Magneto does, but like to an extreme amount,
Exactly.
and then win that way. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Magneto's was double and move cards. Like if you can clog a location twice and triple Magneto. Double Magneto twice.
Yeah, or like if you can move 8 unique opponents' cards throughout this game,
Mhm.
you will just win automatically or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, make
sure.
it some make it like I and then like now I have to try and play around that in addition to just doing the other thing. I have to figure out what win con you're going for. I think it like makes Snap way more fun. Because
Yeah, I think the base game doesn't necessarily need that just yet, but no,
I think we're getting there.
that would be very fun to have in
I think,
general.
I think we're getting there in the base game. Or fix the fucking infinite leaderboard. That's also an option. Make it so that like I care about it. That'd be nice. But like
that would be nice.
not caring about like what the infinite leaderboard says has made my Snap journey a lot worse personally. Because like I used to be like I used to do a video, I used to care, I used to follow it. It used to be really interesting to watch like punch, counter punch. Oh my god, who's playing what? Are they willing to share what they're playing? Like, and now it's just like, oh, who's played for 3 months?
My hot take on this is it might have been a problem in the past. We just never noticed. Because only now, like I know I've talked to duplicates, right? And I know when he made like the leaderboard change where you could see people's SP. Like before we had that, like if someone was inflated, how would you tell? But like now we can like pull out the graph. The guy gained in 2 hours 2,000 SP. Something going on here.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Boop. Number 2. The new player and returning player stuff is nice, but it needs to be both way bigger because it's been cute ideas, like small ideas, and advertised because the same players who are already playing actively knowing about it ain't gonna do the job.
Yeah, no, advertising one is the big one that I think they're kind of fumbling on, which, I don't like maybe they don't need to or want to, right? But man, just Discord is how you get the news out basically for every cool change that you're making, especially for new players. Like if you are not engaged with the game, you're not checking the Discord. You're not. um, you gotta be making YouTube videos. You gotta do like dev updates and things like that. That has a person sitting down and be like, "Hey, here's a cool new thing we're introducing," and not just we're gonna once a month we're gonna do a little sketch with Ben Brode, um, and then that's gonna be it. That's your news. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they need some sort of way to be like, okay, here's like what we're doing, like show it to people. I think what they're doing is like at least what they did recently was like a big enough change where like I think the pre-con decks are a pretty cool idea. And like changes like that, but like nobody's gonna know. Like if you're not playing the game, how the hell are you gonna know?
So every raid video I do, there's like a 30-second to 2-minute. If you join now with my code, you get blah 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 blah. Right? Why do they not have every creator doing that? If you rejoin the game now, like toss everyone an extra fucking 2 codes. You don't even have to cost yourself real money. Toss everyone an extra 2 codes if they can guarantee they do this on every stream. Did you know that if you return to Marvel Snap now, you can get da? Give us a fucking script and have us do it. If you can't be bothered to advertise yourself, like give
I
us
mean, yeah,
like
yeah.
there's plenty of people who watch me apparently. I thank you very much people who watch me even though they don't play Snap anymore. Really 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 appreciate you. Confused sometimes but definitely appreciate you. But like if I was like fucking every video like, hey, by the way, if you haven't played Snap in a while and you're willing to download it, it's been 3 months, you can get 5 free Series 5 cards of your choice. Ta-da! Like it's not brain surgery. Every other game has done this. Why are we not doing this? Or, hey, have you not downloaded Marvel Snap yet and you're curious and trying it out? Thanks for watching. Don't know why you're here, but blah 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 blah. You'll get a free Thanos.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, content creators are salesmen, right? Like we're trying to sell this game, right? That's kind of the deal you make as a content creator. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, you give me cool free stuff sometimes and access to some things, and I will keep posting about your game and trying to get people to engage with your game. And look, that's we do have a limit though, right? Like, yeah, I will post about new cards and cool decks and things like that that gets people to play the game, but I can't really like recruit
Hmm.
people, like that's not within my power as a content creator, especially within the limited thing that I do, which is just Twitch stream and then post on like social media. Like I can't gain new players in the game.
I think if I was them, a lot of what I'd be going for is the returning players, even more than the new players. Games two
Yeah.
years into their life often struggle with new players. You go for new players, but I think new player advertisements are the ones they already do. Um, that's the shit they put into, like, if you've ever watched random YouTube about like other video games, the Marvel Snap videos that are terrible that come up, which are now just like every other mobile game where it's like some random nerdy guy, which could be any of us, obviously. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I got this play. Download Marvel Snap. Brum, brum, psh, brum, brum, brum. You know what I mean? Those videos. Those are fine for new players, probably, although they should probably still advertise like you'll get more extra free stuff in them instead of just saying game cool.
They need to update them.
Yeah.
Is what-
Yeah, there was and then I play Galactus. And I was like, oh, you're advertising based off Galactus that they
Bring
won't see for
back
6 months.
AI band road.
Bring back, no, please don't bring back AI, bro. But
No,
like,
please don't.
returning
But
players
those
need
were
more
funny
shit.
ads. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, that one seemed easy. We all agreed. Yay! Next one. A lack of clarity and communication is still SD's biggest problem. And I'm gonna give 3 examples because I think these are the 3 that I think are mostly makes me sads. Um, I still get 10 million messages about rigged matchmaking all the fucking time. Like, just fucking tell people how you matchmake at this point. You're losing players, you're frustrating people. Just fucking tell people. What are we doing? I've tried not to curse all episode and I failed right then. Um, the next, actually saw this like right before I went live. The next Grand Arena? No. What's the next event? Sanctum. The Sanctum Gold Pass lost like 60% of its value. But they're not going to say anything about it. They're just going to cut 60% of the value and piss people off. And then, like, for balance changes, there's still every time there's a balance change going, this didn't need to be changed. It was totally fine. Like, tell people that you're not balance changing to make the game, like, or just change the word balance changes because they're not balance changes. They're refresh the game changes, not balance changes. And they have been almost since the start. They're just like, we want the meta to be different right now. We're not trying to fix the game. And the sheer number of people, the sheer amount of people that still don't get those things because they don't communicate them is utterly, utterly absurd. And I think it really hurts them because it changes the perception of their company for the negative. Whereas, like, if they were perfectly clear about these things, these are not balance changes. These are changes that are specifically for this, or changes in pricing. We are changing the pricing for this. We know you're unhappy about that. Thank you for your support. If you don't want to buy it, we understand. Here's why we did it. Or matchmaking. Here is exactly how you are match made. Like in game, not like on Discord where you have to be like a maniac to be in the first place, right? These are why and how we make these changes. I think the perception of the company is far better than it is. Whereas now it's just like, here's how it is. Good luck.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should take like a more proactive approach. Maybe they just do like a weekly blog and it's like, here are all the issues, here are all the changes we're making. It's not like anything too elaborate. It's like a list of changes. Oh, we recognize these issues. They're not going to be out yet. Let's say for like the new player matchmaking where they're gaining like 7 times as much SP. Just saying something like that in like a post would be like, oh, we recognize this an issue. We're dealing with it.
Hmm.
You're gonna have to live with it for like a couple of months. But like, oh, the players would be like, okay, it's like temporary, right? And now it's like, okay, we're sitting in the dark. Are they making a change? Or they're not making a change? We don't really know.
Okay. Look, I agree with both of you, but they don't need to do any of this. That's just kind of how it is with especially game companies and live service games or whatever mobile games and things. They just don't need to. It's gonna please 10% of the player base or audience, which they don't really care about. Like people, I think the majority of people who play this game won't even read anything like that, right? Like won't see the posts, won't read those posts, won't engage that much with the development cycles and things like that. And I think that kind of player base makes up majority of who engages with Marvel Snap. So I don't think they just don't need to do that. But I agree, that'd be great. That'd be amazing. Who
I mean,
doesn't love transparency?
put it in the app. The reason that people don't see that, don't read that, don't know it exists is because they're just annoying notifications in the app. I think
But they
people would
won't care.
care.
They won't read
Oh, I
it.
do. I
But
disagree. I
yeah,
think a
you and I
large
would,
no, I think a
and Hard
larger
would, but
percentage would, right? Like
I
I
don't
think
read.
putting information where like half the battle for information is putting it where people can interact with it. Like as a teacher, like just trust you're gonna have to trust me on this. Like so much of the battle of information, the example I always give my students is like if you go down to the auditorium and they tell you they have an important announcement, you are immediately falling asleep. You could not possibly care less. Nothing that they can tell you in that setting is going to be information that's going to get to you because you've spent years being trained that any information that's given to you in this way is utter garbage. And like so even if the information is everyone's getting free money, you're just going to be like half asleep and not paying attention because like that is where you get useless information. Therefore, like it does no, that what the information is doesn't matter. How and where you get information matters so much. You know what people take seriously on Twitter? Fucking nothing. Sorry, I'm trying again not to curse, but Twitter is stupid. Discord is for only diehards. Like as many like how many people are on their Discord? A few thousand out of the like hundreds of thousands that hopefully play this game. Like you're just not and like how many God, there's nothing more useless than Discord notifications. I have a Discord notification right now. It's probably that Interrobang went live. And you know what I'm gonna do with that notification? I'm gonna close it without reading it. And if that wasn't that notification, oh well. Like it's just you these are terrible ways because you get so many notifications in these places in these ways. Your immediate reaction to any information given in them is that they are useless and stupid. Find ways to communicate things that people will listen to and care about.
and my only point that I'm trying to counter argue is that I think majority of people won't care about this. That's all. I don't think it matters how you give them this information. I think it's more effort than they need to do for seemingly no benefit to them. I think. I don't work for them, so I don't know
So
what kind of player base is in the game or not. But
I
I
think
just don't think that they need to.
I think more the argument would be like it's kind of a countermeasure. It's like a lot of people, for example, complaining about they changed
Mhm.
all the packs to be $22 for when you buy like the variant part of the new
mhm.
card, right? Just like if it was in a post, they could be like, "This is why we did it." Okay, there, it's a preventative measure. People like won't be as mad as like what they're just doing this like it's just kind of like a proactive preventative measure, and I don't think it takes that long. It would be the community manager probably just listing all the things that the devs told them are changing.
More as much as that too, it's just like it's hard to like second dinner sometimes. And I know them and like actually like I like Griffin, I like Brady, I like Glenn. These are people I actually interact with. I've got DMs with all of them, right? Like these are people I like, and it's still hard to like second dinner sometimes for me because of the way they communicate at large. Like I can't imagine what it would be like if you're just a random player and how you would feel about this company. Just regular communication to humanize you, to make yourself feel like you're not just like faceless corporation money grab X, even if you are, is important. And they
But that's
don't.
my point. I think a random player doesn't care, doesn't have an opinion on the game development. They won't even know who is second
They
dinner.
may not know who second there is, but they definitely have an opinion. Like every game I've ever
I just
played.
don't think so. I don't
Oh
know. I
man,
just don't
every
think
game I've
that's.
ever played and have an opinion on who makes it. Like
You know how
immediately.
you know how general audience engages with a mobile game like this is if they don't think they like something, they'll just stop playing it and they'll just download something else. That's it. It's not like
That's also like
a second
not
user can't
true.
change their opinion through like a blog post. Like we're sorry that the bundle, like they don't care about that. They just like if the gameplay and monetization feels right, and if it doesn't, they won't play it.
So
That's it.
like, all right. So I play a little bit of Arcane Rush, right? Like I play a few different games. And like Arcane Rush has like little pop-ups and little ads and whenever they do something and sometimes I read them and sometimes I don't, right? But like the tone is always friendly, the explanations are always fairly transparent. They've got big colorful graphics and I go, "Oh, okay." And my general opinion of I don't even know the name of the company who makes it. Literally have no fucking idea. Is positive. And so I've gone to delete the game a couple times and I've been like, "You know what? Eh, and sometimes I buy a season pass, and sometimes I throw out some money because it's entertaining enough, and they're nice enough, and generous enough, and clear enough that I'm fine with it. And I'm not making those decisions necessarily like consciously every time, but because I recognize that they're like I recognize genuinely that I think they're doing a good job. I'm more willing to support them and keep their game versus, and mind you, I pay next to no attention. I load it once a week. I play when I poop sometimes. If I can't sleep, I play a quick game or two, and that's the extent of what I play, which I assume is fairly similar to a lot of Marvel Snaps. But like if it was Marvel Snap, I would have deleted it because they would have made some change that wasn't properly explained in the game. And there wasn't the right link, there wasn't the right information, and I would have just been like, or I would have bought their gold pass that I thought was the same as last month because they're not going to tell me it's different, and looked at my stuff and been like, did I just get half as much? Fuck you, and deleted it. Like that's the kind of thing that like would and does happen, and I think that it's amazingly easily preventable. I guess we are at an impasse.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with I mostly agree. I just think that again, I don't think it matters to them that much.
I think that mole games often get people to spend based on their opinion of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, fair enough. Like the sheer number of people I know that were like, I used to spend $500 a month on this, and they annoy me, and now I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, I used to spend way more than $500 a month on this, and now I spend $25, and that's just because I feel guilty. I could spend $0 just fine. Like they should probably be nice to people so they spend more money. Or not, and we'll be doing this as a Raid Shadow Legends podcast in 6 months. It's fine. All right. Do either of you have a hot take you want to add?
Not off the top of my head.
Aw. Since when are you not Mr. Hot Take? Come on.
Oh,
I can
I'll give
figure out
you
one.
Okay.
You
I'll
go
give you
first.
one.
Go ahead.
It's just like a super general one. I don't like it. This is not a crazy hot take or anything, but we need more ways to increase power in this game than green power.
More
I'll leave
like
it at that.
Blue Marvel-y stuff? Vicky Handy stuff?
Just things that are not just like, I don't know, just like permanent increases or some like other type of text that says like this gets bigger somehow. That's not just
It's like
green
green
text.
power ongoing, and that's all there is right now.
Yeah, that's like 2 ways. Literally just 2 ways.
I'd agree with that. For like last week, for example, I was running Echo in V-Hand for the only reason I was like, well, what can I possibly lose to? It's going to be green power or maybe some really big ongoing deck. Let me just run both of them. I'll just spawn 2 Echoes on my board. Surprise, surprise. I won the ongoing matchup, and then I'll spawn 2 Shadow Kings on my board. I probably won the other matchup too.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know what that would look like, but I'd be in.
Yeah. I'm not a game designer.
I mean, we
Same
could
to
just
figure
steal
out.
from other games, right? You can look at Magic, you can look at other games and be like, how else do they do things?
Yeah, some way to increase base power, some way to level up cards throughout the game,
Chuck
things like that.
another, add more transform cards.
Sure, yeah. Some sort of
Because like
game
you can
plan that
Shadow King like a
requires.
Bruce Banner, for example.
Chat says Khonshu does that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but there's like 2 guys. There's like Bruce Banner and Khonshu, and do we care about either of them?
I mean, some people keep telling me Bruce is
Khonshu's-
good. There's also Affliction, I guess, which is sort of like the same thing.
Isn't that good?
We should also have like 3 or 4 different types of Affliction instead of one type of Affliction.
I agree too. I agree. Some sort of way to damage
Yeah.
your opponent should be good too.
Like something to like damage and something to like represent poison and all those different things would be really cool.
Like freezing your opponents or something like that.
Yeah, like freeze an opponent's card here, its power doesn't count next turn. Its power and
or
abilities
if they
are
can't
off.
increase their power or double their power, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do things with design space, you jerks. Stop releasing the same 6 cards over and over again. I don't need a new Red Guardian.
My not so very hot take is we gotta get Juggernaut out of here. I don't care how good he is in the metagame, which he is pretty good right now. We gotta get him out of here. He gotta be reworked. I want him to have the old leader treatment where it's like this card's not even good. It's like move a card if they filled their lane on to the right of this. I don't care what it is. You got to get Juggernaut out of here.
I vote that Juggernaut. We try Juggernaut as a 5/6, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
I would like to give Juggernaut should have never been a 4. It should have been a 5. I think a 5/6. I can play
I
it
just
with
don't
a
like the
1
idea.
drop only. Me neither. I
I
get
don't
it.
like that. I don't like the idea of a tech card that says I'm teching against people playing cards. Period.
But you're not. You're playing against people not filling locations or playing around it. Juggernaut doesn't auto
Yeah, they're
win.
playing cards.
And
Juggernaut doesn't.
priority,
Yeah.
kind of sometimes.
Yeah. Juggernaut
Like,
doesn't.
look at Move. How does Move win its second lane? They just push it to the torch lane. You not to beat the 197 guy.
I'm gonna tell you this though. If without Juggernaut, Move is still the best deck in the game.
Yeah, but it's worse.
Sure. Sure.
I think you could do like it has to be on revealed cards. So like you can't just get prio and yeet some
I
cards
think
away.
I would agree with that. It has to be one or the other. It's like I have to get prio to move these, or I don't have prio and I can move these.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. Can't be
Yeah, I
both.
think Eliath covers the prio one. I think you could cover the non-prio with Jug.
That's what Chang used to cover.
Yeah. Remember Shang-Chi? That used to be a card.
Still is the card, not a very good one.
I want my Shang back.
Make him a 3-cost with his current deck.
Okay, fine. Deal. Surfer player. Sure.
No, I think an actual change is for sure he has to target the highest.
Yeah.
The highest power.
Not targeting the highest.
But that's at least would be something. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it matters if they put Shang back. Is my real take about Shang. Unfortunately, Shang's effect was mostly mental.
Yeah.
And like
it was the gameplay warp.
Right. And now that that's gone, I don't think putting him back would matter anymore. So like, yeah, I don't know. All right, we're just sort of rambling about random things now.
Yeah,
no,
we're just
probably hit
it.
All right, our variant of the week is going to be a wave, and we chose 3 different ones. Ika, you chose the very coquettish looking wave. Go first.
The what kind of wave?
Coquettish looking? That's what I went with. That is
Coquettish?
The come hither wave.
Ah, right. Yeah. No, I chose this one because it reminds me of some like Hades art a little bit.
I can see that.
It's got that vibe, like when you're like open up a boon and wave comes in and it's like, oh, you want to make your 6 costs? Oh, okay, that kind of vibe. Yeah. Here's the thing with wave, like they all just look the same, so I just went with something to say interesting and mention Hades maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't played Hades 2 because I'm scared of it.
It's very addicting.
I just don't have time.
Yeah.
Cosmic Invasion I'm going to try, though. Are you going to play Cosmic Invasion? I got to get a controller to stream Cosmic Invasion. But yeah, I'm going to play Cosmic Invasion. All right. Heart.
I looked at the wave variants. I usually go for like the anime toony style. I looked at the one Ika said and I said, I do not like this. So I'm like, which one kind of looks that? And I'm like, oh, this one more reminds me of like the almost like the late 90s, early 2000s, like Western animation style. And I'm like, oh, that kind of fits my vibe. So I like this one. And that's all the thought process I put into it.
And I put the one with the crossy swords because the one with the crossy swords is the most anime to me. She's got the big anime eyes. But also, it reminds me very specifically of oh my god, I lost the name of the show. Legend of Avalos is the like second part. The Dragon Prince, and I love the Dragon Prince very much. Plus, that sword looks really cool. If you haven't watched the Dragon Prince, it's on Netflix and phenomenal. Made by some of the creators of Avatar, Last Airbender, not terrible blue people, and 1000% worth watching. Maybe I'll make my son watch it again, even though he doesn't want to. That seems like a good use of my day.
It's crazy how many variants of wave there are.
That all look the same?
They'll all look the same. It's crazy.
Do
something different.
Yeah, they do. A lot of them look like almost identical.
They look so similar. Like not even a color palette difference of some sort. Just blue with swords.
Woke up. Time to be on video. Hi, Atticus. All right. Yeah, blue. At least sometimes the blue swords. I don't like when the swords look too much like water. I think the watery looking swords are kind of stupid looking. like you need a border on there of some kind. All right, we good?
Yep.
Good.
Follow Heart. Heart, why should people follow you?
I make educational content. If you want to get better at the game, if you are the type of person that likes to improve, you will
Yo.
probably improve by watching my
Not you, I
videos.
got
I'll
drool
teach
all
you
over
about
here.
like I'll teach you about like general snap concepts. Sometimes I'll go in depth on the deck. It really depends flavor of the month. But yeah, if you want to get better at decks, better at the game in general, I'm the place to be at.
I mean, there's only 2 people making good Snap educational content right now, and Heart's one. So, like, if you suck at Snap, and like I suck at Snap, so I watch Heart. If you suck at Snap, you should watch Heart of the Cards. It's really, really simple. If you want to be good at Marvel Snap, watch Heart, watch Smiles, call it a day, and you'll be totally fine. You'll be significantly better, like in absolutely no time, assuming you actually do what they tell you to. This cat's ready to bump my mic and very mad that I'm not petting him. But please, please, please follow Heart of the Cards, Heart OTC, not OTP. His OTP is obviously Smiles, although they don't make content together, so it's very sad. But follow Heart OTC, and maybe you and Snap will be the OTP. Do you know what OTP is, Ika?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure because you're kind of old, and just checking. Please follow Ika.
Yeah, please do that. Ika underscore MTS. I also make educational videos, but not videos. They're just happen on the stream. And by educational, I mean not educational at all.
Yeah, I was like, what are you educating on? This is
Educating
Cersei.
on how to have
Sometimes it
fun,
does things.
okay? I'm educating you how to have fun with the game and still be competitive. Look, hey, say what you will about my gameplay. We still hit 1 deck a month that's pretty competitive. And I'm pretty proud of that. So if you want to see me make decks live on the stream, and like if anything, I actually genuinely am educational for like deck building if you're interested in that. But yeah, there you go.
Look, Ika's gonna break the game once a month. Be there for it. Like he only streams twice a week, so that means you have a 1 in 8 shot every time you watch Ika of breaking the meta. That's really great math, right? Like 1 out of every 8 streams, you will be one of the first people to break Marvel Snap. That is amazing math. No one else can promise you that. Make sure you are following Ika. Ika underscore MTS. Heart OTC. Remember, not OTP. OTC. That's of the cards. Even though, like, every time he talks, he's complaining that the heart of the cards betray him. I'm just saying. Like, he's like, oh, man, I always draw this wrong. It's like, yeah, maybe live your name. Live your truth better.
I wish. I was trying to get good juju, good karma, and then, no.
Yeah,
I used to actually go by a different name before I was popular.
Really?
And then they got rid of Elias. It was very sad.
What were you?
I was poof, cards gone.
I have no idea that existed. All right, fair enough. Poof, cards gone. Don't follow that. Follow Heart OTC and Ika underscore MTS. And now I'm going to read names to you very, very, very quickly. Patreon.com/SnapJudgments if you want to support. And name time. Jonesy Snap 22, Abigail Cemetery, Bernard LAB, Ink, Iron Frost, Iron Cloak, Hot Thunder, Prime, Ryan Burke, Ryan with Snap, Ryan Vera Group Math, Gopher Kev, Caretax League, Quarry, Kazushi, Organic, Guy, Black Tie, Pyro, Goat Seeker, Code, Hollow, Synth, Paddock, Absolute Shan, Dirty Casual, Dark Bogle, Physical Global, Cables, Interprime, Philly, Haplo, Kind the Dangers of the Business, Black Tubes 23, Skippy Jesus, Good Gamble, Slash, Death, the King Bros, The Great. Nope. The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kazuto, Colt, Clyam, Colonel Foreman, David G, Wingfield, Stephen, Barakoff, Justin H. Martin, Jason B, Matt B, William Nichols, Billy Nix, Ray Sean Smith, Charles Shanker, Corbin, John Q, Jimmy Q, Yes, Stage 1 Big Man, Cactus Jack, Steve O, 1 through 1, Yo Marco, Ted Pro, Grimmer Joe, Snap, Susan Joe, Big Moobot, Bricks 2 Click, Oculars, Green Goblin, Flam, Days, Extractors, Hoot, Only Fox, Matt H, CJ, My God, Jason, Very Relax, Nick, the Greek Geek, Toxel King, Zodric, and the King of Canada, JJ, Demon Falcon, Falcon, Newman, 2 times, the Great Lord is the Practicing Tucker, and of course, Skinny T, where the T stands for. This is the end of this Snap Judgments video. Thank you for watching. Say bye, Ika. Ika's muted. He did a bad job. Say bye,
goodbye,
Ika.
Peace.
Peace and love, everybody. See you next one. And I should also stop